How's everybody tonight? How are you doing? Everybody doing good? I am so glad you're with me tonight and listening to this. I have a really important message that I want to tell you guys tonight. We, as the Bold Movement, are changing gears just a little bit. What we're going to do is we decided that we're going to maybe try to have this go in a different channel maybe, or maybe on YouTube. Oh, hello. Is it Sabah Noor? Did I say that right? I don't know if I'm saying it right. Good morning, how are you? And I asked if it is incorrect. So, what we're going to be doing is we might be trying to transition this to like a YouTube channel or maybe a different Facebook page. But what I promise you I will do is when we get it squared away, I will absolutely put in the comments where you can find us. But the reason we're changing our Bible reading section, segment, segue, whatever it is, Gehan. Yes, okay. Is we're trying to open the airways for Megan, our CEO, to promote more of her goody stuff that she's doing, like her Bible studies and her podcasts and anything that she wants to push out live. It's just really important that she's got an open road to get that done. So, watch for the feedback on when we move this around so that way you'll know where to find us. I am not 100% sure when we're going to make the transition, but I did want to let you know a transition is coming, so that way you could be watching for it. Tanya, hi, how are you? I'm so glad you're on. How'd you guys like having my little sidekick last night? Wasn't that pretty awesome? Didn't he do an amazing job? I was absolutely so excited that he was helping me out. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Now, something really weird is going on. I've got some kind of big glare on my forehead or something. So I'm going to like scoot around this way just a hair, and maybe that'll take the glare off. I don't know. But what I wanted to tell you guys is thank you for supporting us and for being a part. And it looks like the sun's coming down a beautiful way. We were predicted to have a ton of rain, and we just got a little bit of rain. And shukran. So I really appreciate everybody's support. Hey Debbie, where have you been? I've been missing you. I'll tell you what, I'm so excited to have everybody on with me tonight. Oh my goodness, I'm thrilled. I absolutely love having support out there. When we change gears and change channels or change whatever it's called, I will let everybody know so that way we can gather together at a same time, just different location. But I wanted to say thank you for the support. I love it. I love the comments. I love the feedback. I love it when you reach out and say, hey, thinking about you, praying for you, enjoyed the story. You know, that makes me feel good. But what makes me feel even better is that if you're telling me that, you're probably telling somebody else that, which is sharing the love of Christ. How amazing is this that we can share something as simple as a little Bible story, maybe 10-15 minutes. Say, did you see so-and-so? Did you know that this happened? Did you know what David's dad's name was? Do you know who else parted the sea besides, hi, is it Theta? Hi, how are you? Thank you for getting on. I get so excited. Thank you guys. And I love that we're able to share God's amazing grace, his miracles, and the way he does things. I absolutely love it. You had cute. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I thought so too. And I'll tell you, I was really proud. It was like the arms were sitting down. I could see like definition in that arm. I was like, oh my goodness, I got to get back to the gym. I can't have some little kid out. I was getting embarrassed. But man, what a great kid. What a great time we had last night. It was just amazing. I can't wait to see my own little granddaughter and have her back on with me. I love having kids because it's so impromptu. You never know what they're going to say or what they're going to do, but you never know the impact something like this might have on somebody's life, because kids can reach kids, right? So we always say at work that it's peer-to-peer recognition. So it's really, I kind of like to translate that into where kids can bless kids in a really unique way that adults maybe can or can't, and vice versa. Maybe we can bless kids in a different way. But I love the fact that kids can stand together and stand united and support each other. That's what it's all about, folks. It's what it's all about. So tonight, I took a minute and I was looking for a story, and I thought, I'm going to talk about forgiveness, because there are so many things that go on in our lives, and I think that sometimes we have a tendency to do what I call just holding on to it until just stirring the pot and waiting for that butter to melt. And what I mean by that is, if we're sitting in the kitchen and we're letting the oven get warmed up, we put our pan on there and we put our butter in and we watch that butter melt, what's happening? It's just kind of spreading and seething and just kind of getting worse and worse. And before you know it, you can't see the clump of butter anymore, but you can see the oil and where the liquid is, where it's melted. So the butter didn't go away. It's just not a great big pile. So what we have now is a whole big pot full of junk. And I don't want our junk in our heart to control the pot that should be full of love. So what I wanted to talk to you tonight was forgiveness. And I looked in Ephesians, and it says in Ephesians 4, and I am reading out of the King James Version. This is actually my mother's Bible with all the notes and highlights. She was one amazing woman, let me tell you. So it's Ephesians 4:32, and it says, "And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you." I want to touch on that a lot tonight, because I think we feel like we've forgiven somebody. And kiddos out there, hey Anita, kiddos out there get a little upset when somebody takes their toy, or I think I make a lot of references to baseball because I played softball. But if you're in a batting order, the person who's up to bat in the fourth position, there's 9, sometimes 10 batters, but whoever bats fourth, they're called the cleanup batter. So that means they're hoping that the first, second, and third batter got on base. So the fourth batter is supposed to hit that big grand slam, big home run, and knock them all in. Now, no pressure, right? No pressure. They expect you to get up there and do your best and knock everybody in. So let's just say the book is the Bible, and the New Testament is Ephesians, and it is chapter 4, verse 32. And I'm reading from the King James Version. So it is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 32. "And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you." I think we have to really think about this, because sometimes somebody will say, "Look, man, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry," and they walk on. But what happens if they do it again? And I was going to have my son come out here and help me with this. What I was going to have him do is, while I was reading, I was going to have him throw a ball at me and have me keep batting the ball away. But I was afraid that it might hit me in the head, so that may not be the best idea. But I wanted to stress the fact that sometimes people will do things that irritate us on purpose, right? They may know that what they're saying or what they're doing just might be a little dig or a little jab or a little something, and sometimes people think it's funny to get us upset. What we want to do inside sometimes is just clobber somebody, right? So what we really should do instead is we really should, first of all, pray for that person, because maybe there's something missing. Maybe they're not having a good day. Maybe they're not having a great home life. Maybe something happened at school. You don't know what's going on with somebody else. All you know is what's going on with you. Since you can control what's going on with you, how is your prayer life? How are you doing when you pray? Are you taking that 5 minutes that we talked about to read the Bible 5 minutes a day? Are you doing that? Have you taken the time to Ephesians, Ephesians, Ephesians. I'm sorry, probably my twang. Ephesians. So are we taking the time to read our Bibles 5 minutes a day? Are we taking the time to really have a serious moment of prayer? And when we pray, are we really, first of all, thanking God for everything He's done for us? Are we thanking Him for the house we have, the food we have, the clothes we have? Maybe you have a car, maybe you don't. Maybe you have a bicycle, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have a consistent home. Maybe you move a lot. Maybe your family's in the military, or maybe your family's in the missions field. Maybe you move a lot. Instead of being upset by that, be thankful that you have the opportunity to meet so many people to spread the love of Christ. God has a perfect plan for your life, a very perfect plan. And what I want to share with you tonight is there are so many, I call them external forces, that are going on out there that are trying to mess up the plan for your life. You have to stay strong in Christ. And by staying strong, I wanted to go over how do we stay strong. Well, we stay strong by thanking God, first and foremost. Every day, I talk to God all day long in my prayer. The second thing we have to do is to be sure that, are we perfect? No, we're not. So are we taking the time to say, God, please, I'm sorry, forgive me. Can I have a redo? Is there any way? Help me to do it better the next time, so I can learn from my mistake and know how to do it the way you want me to do it, not the way I want to do it. So are we praying for forgiveness for ourselves? The next thing is, are we forgiving others? Or are we hanging on to that and saying, you just wait till I see you again. You wait till I run into you at McDonald's or Walmart. I'm going to tell you something. Is that what we're doing? If it is, congratulations for being human. Is that what we're supposed to do? No, it's not. We have to have a very forgiving spirit. We have to, even though, oh, yes, I can. I'm sorry. Even though sometimes we feel that people are deserving of bad treatment, we all are. Actually, we all are. But God chose to forgive us. God chose to send His only Son to come to earth to die for us and rise again 3 days later. But that was God's plan. The whole time was to save people like me. You're welcome. People like you. People like everybody around us. That's the plan. Are we being forgiving? Are we being loving? And is our life, the way we live it, is it showing a life of forgiveness or a life of bitterness? Because when you wake up in the morning, here's two choices you have. Are you going to make your life bitter or better? And you'll notice those words change by one vowel. Bitter is B-I-T-T-E-R, and better is B-E-T-T-E-R. Are you going to make your life bitter or better? When you get up and you start moving, the first thing, of course, we pray, we look into our Bible, we have our time with God, and then we're off and running. Are we having the opportunity to share how amazing God is in our life? Or are we complaining? Are we being negative? Are we talking about somebody else? Are we saying, look what they did yesterday? I can't believe what they said. What did you say? How did you say that? People are people. And sometimes it's very, very hard to understand why we're going through what we're going through. Don't get hung up on that. Just know that God has a plan for your life. God wants you to trust Him. But ultimately, we have to be sure to forgive those, as the Lord's Prayer says, who trespass against us. Forgive those who have sinned against us. Forgive those, right? It says forgiveness a lot. I want to go over one more time, Ephesians 4:32. And be ye kind to one another. That doesn't mean if somebody's driving 5 miles an hour under the speed limit, or if you're riding your bike and they cross in your way, that you have the right to blow your horn or say, hey, hey! Nope, can't do that. Be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. We have been forgiven, so we have to forgive. And sometimes that is not easy. So if you truly or having trouble forgiving somebody, God understands that. What we have to do is we have to pray that God will open our hearts and our minds to how He can help us overcome the obstacle, overcoming what hurdle, whatever it is that's stopping us and preventing us from being truly forgiving. We may never forget what happened, but we can't dwell on what happened. We can't make that the forefront of our thoughts. So when someone does you wrong, congratulations. You're probably doing something right to glorify the kingdom of God. It seems like we always face a lot of adversity when God is using us. When He has a plan for our life and we're following God's will for our life and we're trying to get things right, it seems like all this crazy stuff starts happening. That's okay. God wants you to trust Him, have faith in Him, and please believe that God wants the best for you. So be faithful, be kind, be forgiving, be Christ-like. Sometimes it's not easy, but do it. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Another thing I wanted to share with you, and I will get off my soapbox. The one last thing I want to share with you is, guess what? God has told us so many times in the Bible how to love and how to forgive. I want to ask you, share with me an experience that you had in the comments where you know somebody did something wrong and how you forgave them. Now I'm going to take it a step further. How did you bless them? Are you doing things? It's really, really easy to be forgiving and love the people who love us. But it's kind of difficult to be loving and forgiving to those who are just persecuting us or being difficult with us. Even on the cross, Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do." We have to follow that. Whew! That's a hard one to talk about sometimes, isn't it? But you know what? It has to be talked about. It has to be talked about. I want you to know I appreciate you so much for sharing just a little bit of your evening with me tonight. I know you got a lot going on, but you chose to jump on here and be a part of this tonight with me. I'm so excited. And on behalf of the Bold Movement, we appreciate you more than you know. Download that app. It's got a Bible reading on there that'll tell you what to read every day so you can get your Bible readings in. And we are on Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, of course. Our email is info@theboldmovement.com. Please forgive me for being a couple minutes late tonight, and I will forgive you for, I don't know, I don't think you've done anything wrong yet, so I don't have to forgive you. How's that? But I want you to know it's so easy to get caught up in wanting to stay stuck. Let God allow you to become unstuck and watch you bloom and blossom and become a beautiful example of the love of Christ. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7:30. You go out and be, what is it? That's right, be bold. I will talk to you tomorrow night. I appreciate your time. Have a great evening. Be kind, be loving, be forgiving, and be bold. Talk to you then. Bye.